stakeholders, the hustler nation present, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, this morning, we gather to celebrate the United Nations International MSME, celebrated under the theme, Enhancing the Role of MSME as Drivers of Sustainable Growth and Innovation. The 2025 celebration marks the 9th year of celebration since the official launch of the MSME in a
quite substantive.
Of the dialogue that you encouraged us sometime last year around this time, that we need to activate dialogues across all the sectors of the economy, and we took up that.
And yourself, the people who are
oriented.
27th of June 2017, following a resolution by the United Nations General Assembly 2017 designating the MSME Day to recognize the crucial role the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises in achieving sustainable development goals. And allow me at this point, Your Excellency, to invite Tito Arunga, who is representing the United Nations, just to make some few opening remarks. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali akija to make some brief remarks. Welcome.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, CS Wycliffe Oparanya, kindly allow me to ride on all the protocols already established. The MSME Day 2025 comes at a pivotal moment for development globally. It takes place just ahead of two key international milestones: the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development in Seville, and the 2nd World Summit for Social Development in Doha. These key events will both grapple with urgent questions of financing, equity, and inclusion in an increasingly volatile world. It is in this context that today's commemoration offers an opportunity to reaffirm the essential role of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises in shaping inclusive, resilient, and sustainable economies. This year's theme, leveraging the power and resilience of MSMEs to accelerate sustainable development, captures this ambition. It acknowledges that MSMEs are not only engines of economic activity, but also catalysts for innovation, poverty reduction, and dignified livelihoods. And it calls on all of us, as governments, development actors, financial institutions, and large business, to create the enabling conditions that allow MSMEs to thrive. Across Kenya and the wider continent, MSMEs are foundational to local economies. They offer entry points for young people, women, and informal workers. Their size and agility allow them to adapt quickly to change and serve underserved populations, often where no formal systems reach. We recognize the challenges they face, especially with the issues around climate shocks, input costs, and some of the incidences. And let me say at this moment, Your Excellency, we see some of the incidents like what we've observed in the country in the last 2 days, where small businesses remain at risk of being left behind. Our hearts really goes out to those business owners and employees who are affected by these situations. Ladies and gentlemen, here in Kenya, the United Nations recognizes that supporting MSMEs is key to unlocking broader progress. Just allow me to share some of our collective results. Through our collective efforts, nearly 5 million people have benefited from skills development and lifelong learning initiative. This includes young entrepreneurs, informal workers, and marginalized groups. In addition, I would like to state that more than 3,500 refugees have also been trained in trades such as welding and mechanics, and opening new enterprises. And we also really support and we really acknowledge what the Kenya government has done in supporting MSMEs. And we recognize and have been there to support the prior learning policy, which I think is a very powerful tool, which has allowed over 1,200 informal workers to have their skills certified. This not only opened doors to higher value opportunities, but helps to close formal recognition within these enterprises. So the UN is collaborating with Kenya and our partners, governments such as the Swedish, Canadian, the Rockefeller Foundations, the MasterCard Foundation, in seeing how to create more opportunities and ensuring that no one is left behind. To conclude, allow me to close and leave you with three reflections. First, why does Africa continue to record some of the highest returns?
It now also includes
launched on 14th March, so that as a government, we create a platform where all stakeholders within this sector, there are over 30, where I chair that particular committee, they are able to bring their problems, so that as a government, we know what is their problem, in which area do we focus on to create an enabling environment for them. We had the first meeting here on 14th March, and 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting in Meru. And that's how the product of our meeting is this choir that is entertaining us. We were able if you are in that you can use to save informally when you are in the informal sector. Market access, you had market access in Eastern, so that we are able to bring up common user facilities in that region, so that we improve on quality of the products that you give. Those are the only comments I had, ladies and gentlemen, and I now want to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Your Excellency the President to make your remarks. Karibu, karibu sana. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Waziri. Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hamjambo. No one among us here can doubt that the MSME sector is the lifeline of our economy. While the formal sector has remained relatively stable over the past 3 decades, providing employment to about 3 million Kenyans, I think now about 3.5, the informal sector has grown in leaps and bounds, now providing livelihoods to more than 17 million Kenyans, including my friend there, Kevin. And the sector today contributes about 40% of our GDP. As government, We recognize the immense potential of MSMEs to generate jobs, provide livelihoods, and sustain our citizens. That is why MSMEs are one of the 5 core pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It is for this reason that we established the State Department of MSME Development for the first time in our republic. It coordinates efforts and anchors a robust MSME ecosystem to promote growth and development. And I'm very proud of my appointment of Susan Mangeni to be the first piece. She comes with the requisite passion and commitment to this sector. Every other morning I find a message on my phone on what is going on in that sector. And I am forced to read. Sometimes I reply, sometimes I let pass. In our plan, we committed to end the criminalization of work by making trading licenses and the provision of trading spaces an entitlement to every citizen who applies. Today, this commitment has been mainstreamed with county governments working to harmonize licenses and moving towards a single permit regime. It is not perfect, but it is work in progress. Apart from making sure that we decriminalize the space around doing business, especially for micro and small enterprises, we've made it also easier for those who want to register their businesses. It used to be a long process. Today, from the comfort of your phone, you can register your business with just 1,000 shillings. And going forward, we're going to make it even easier for those of you who want to register limited liability companies. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also building modern markets through our affordable housing program, fully equipped with cold storage facilities across Kenya, with ICT hubs, and with facilities for trading for micro and small enterprises. Our goal is to construct at least 2 markets in every constituency, providing not only decent trading spaces, but also facilities to reduce wastage, especially of perishable goods. Already, 280 markets are ongoing, some completed, some nearing completion, and I want to commend the State Department for Housing for undertaking this exercise. And of course, the Board of Housing for supporting it. For MSMEs in the manufacturing sector, we are partnering with the county governments to establish county aggregation and industrial parks in every county. These parks will offer shared manufacturing facilities for value addition. By August this year, 13 CAIPs, or county aggregation and industrial parks, will be completed and ready for operationalization. Why are we doing county aggregation and industrial parks? I just listened to a presentation by one businesswoman who said she operates out of Karioko. And she does business with Karioko because in Karioko they have common user facilities to deal with matters leather. Karioko is very far from Bungoma or Kwale or the rest of the places. So what are we doing? To be able to enhance infrastructure available for manufacturers in the MSME sector, and recognizing that micro and small enterprises may not have the money to buy equipment on their own. It becomes necessary for us to build county aggregation and industrial parks, equip them with the equipment the MSMEs require, and work with them so that they can use those facilities, common user facilities, to build their businesses and to expand their trade. And therefore, I'm asking those of you who are in this sector to begin to appropriate the space around county aggregation and industrial parks. Those are your spaces. You will use those spaces, you will use the equipment in there. We are going to equip those facilities, but you're going to be the end users and you will be the end managers of those facilities. We are also committed to reviewing our policy and regulatory framework to make it easier to start and run business in Kenya. Today, we have reviewed our MSME policies to support business growth nationally. And I want to thank GIZ for the support they've given us in that space so that we can have what PS is saying, a master plan of the entire space around micro, small, and medium enterprises. The revised MSME policy integrates government priorities, including the value chain approach and cluster development. It now also includes medium enterprises to support the growth of transition from micro to small and medium enterprises, a gap that